So what's your actual title? So right now I'm actually an associate producer now. I just kind of got promoted, which is like I'm super happy about. But I started as assistant to the executive producer of AGT.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been really cool. My boss actually started AGT from season 1 with Simon and all them. So
Your boss started America's Got Talent?
yeah, it's been really cool to learn from him. Learned a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I do a lot. So like for the Zoom auditions this season, I actually took a room, which was crazy. It was crazy to just be doing that and running a room.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, but I also been starting producing acts this season.
That's a flex.
Yeah, it's really crazy because the performers that you see on screen, I have them under my belt, and I essentially just kind of get them ready for their performance. So yeah, I do a lot more too, but
Wait, how does it work? So
I'm busy in seasons, so like
right, you were saying you have like 2 months of the year that are like
12
hour
I was telling
days,
that
right?
yesterday. Yeah, so right now we're in the time to like prepare. It's like called casting and auditions. So it's like people who want to be on the show because we're gonna start filming like end of March-ish for like 3 weeks, like a lot of days.
Gotcha.
That'll be like actually in front of the judges, like in front of Simon and all them. And to figure out who's going on that stage, this is the time, like right now. Those are like edited, so it's not live. Yeah. They walk on, hi, I'm Kazu, and then I audition. Like if I sing, golden buzzers, all that stuff happened. Yeah. So from there to August, we have kind of like a transition period, like editing, like getting those episodes to broadcast, like air.
Gotcha.
And then it's like the judges filter out like who can actually make it to the live show, like who got yeses, who got nos, like just like deliberations.
Right, gotcha.
Last year we did 55 people to come to the live show.
Okay.
And live shows are actually
uncut,
live.
like
So it's like a 2-hour episode of just performances. And
you guys have to like keep an account like ad breaks and things like that.
Yeah, like it's crazy. You should have seen me when I was working. What I do is there's a script, like a loose script, because the host is like, okay, coming up, like this person, blah, and goes in the break.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that happen that the judges need to know, like, oh, the next person is Sophia's golden buzzer, like, and then we cut to her.
Yeah.
So we have to tell her like, oh, like you're gonna have a shot of you, or you're gonna have to answer a question. So I look through all that, and then not my boss, but another person who's like I guess pretty much my boss.
Yeah.
Is in charge of briefing the judges.
Gotcha.
I read through, I make like these cards, and I make cards for the judges too. Like whatever they're holding, I made.
Shit, okay.
But I go up to the judge's desk with him, and I'm just making sure he's telling them the right thing. Like I have a whole headset, like you should see. I'll show you.
You're legit, huh? Yeah.
No, yeah, live shows for some reason I look really legit because I have like a headset and everything, and I'm like right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
So like everyone who visited me,
they can see you like at
like
work.
every commercial break, we run out to the judges. We're talking to them. Make sure you're looking that way, or like we don't tell them everything that's about to happen, but like.
Wait, do you officially work for NBC, or is it like do you work for a guy who works for?
It's so complicated. So
he's like maybe he's a contractor.
I'm also a contractor for NBC. My email is NBC.
But you're a contractor, so you're not.
I work for him. But he has this deal. It's called the First Look deal.
Okay.
And it's essentially so America's Got Talent is a show under that NBC owns, but that's completely different.
Right.
That has nothing to do with it really. It's just NBC people saw that he's been doing that show for a long time.
Right.
So they struck a deal with him to develop. It's called the development deal.
Right.
It's to make new TV shows. It's all under his company that he made himself.
Gotcha.
But it's under NBC, so we get all like the NBC emails. We have a office in the NBC Universal lot.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So I kind of have 2 jobs. I do that, and then whenever America's Got Talent is on set and in filming, then I help that. So what my other part of the job is, so it's actually my main job. People just don't know about it because what I post on social media is like America's Got Talent stuff.
Right.
Because that's what's public. Like it's an actual show right now. But what I do, the other half of my job is development, which is essentially, it's TV development, which is making new TV shows. And my boss has a deal with NBC Universal to make TV shows for them. It's not like just for NBC. It can be for anywhere. But he has a company, and it's just me, him, and another guy. So just 3 of us working on making a new TV show.
Oh, what?
So that's actually my main job. And that takes priority over everything on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, how many days a week do you say, like, right? So right now, America's
I
Got
do
Talent
both.
is done. So you're doing both.
Oh, no, but there's a lot of work for America's Got Talent, too.
Oh, okay. That's
So I just balance my time.
Do you find it? You just do different projects for different like one or the other throughout the day, or do you just do like one per day?
Whatever's pressing. So it's like right now I need to make a deck change for, not for tomorrow, but like there was a tweak that I need to do, or but then we had an Zoom auditions on Monday for America's Got Talent.
Okay.
So I was doing that all day. So it was kind of like making sure both is getting done.
Can you tell me about any of these shows or not?
I can't tell you specifically what shows, but it's like a new dating show,
cool.
a new game show,
Cool.
So many different, a new documentary series about like someone or people.
Just the 3 of you like spitball ideas and stuff.
So when I started, there was already a catalog of a lot of show ideas because they've been doing it for longer. But they also let me think of shows too, because it's just me and him. And then we report to my boss, and obviously he has a lot of insight. But
that's awesome.
So I like, if I have an idea, I call my coworker, and it's like, what do you think? Like, has this been done before? And if he thinks, oh, that might be a good idea, let's expand on it, then I do. I make a deck for myself because it was my idea, and like, I shouldn't make him do any of the work, Obviously, I mean, I usually do the work anyway, but
right.
And then if we feel like it's at a good place, then I show my boss, and I'm like good with my boss where I could just tell him even if it's not like fully ready. Mm-hmm. I can even tell him the idea, but that's what we do. Cool. If he likes it, then we take it to the studio that we have a deal on, pitch it to them. If they like it, we take it out to like Netflix or Hulu or anybody.
Got it. Okay.
Or NBC.
You did MILF Manor, huh? That's all you, huh?
That was all me, man.
I knew it. As soon as I heard MILF Manor, I was like, what is this? And I was like, I bet Kazu had something to do with
right,
this.
Yeah, because, I'm so into MILFs. Did you see, it was, I forget what network. Did you see it was like Farmer Wants a Wife?
That rings a. I think somebody was telling me about
it was
it.
Super Bowl commercial.
Okay, that's what it was.
And I had seen it before too, but I was like, if I know the business of making a show like that, and I'm just like, I would never be like, what a cool show would be? Farmer Wants a Wife. And not to knock the creators, because, getting a show is so hard.
Yeah.
But props to them for getting it done.
Yep.
Hey,
here we are talking about it.
I know, but
it's like farmersonly.com, the show.
Yeah. Maybe that's where they got that. So it's crazy because with my job, like anything could be an inspiration. Mm-hmm. So what we're talking about right now, that could spark something, me watching TV with a friend or even myself. I'm like, oh, this might be cool. But also when I'm at a comedy club or blah, 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 or just somewhere like, oh, that could be someone good for America's Got Talent. So I'm like always just like, it can get a little tiring.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it, so it's not bad.
Cool.
But that's what's cool is that it kind of extends not just to like my job. Like
That's
it
awesome.
becomes more my lifestyle, which is something that I didn't expect to do. But
you ever approach anybody in public and been like, I think you'd be great for AGT?
I haven't done that yet. Mm-hmm. I called up comedy clubs and like saw who they recommend and stuff.
Nice.
But I've gotten invited to shows.
Oh, what?
Because there's a comedian that we were like, I was trying to get them to like see it, and then if my team likes them, then maybe. But they were like, we're doing a show like next week. Like, would you love to come?
Like, I'll just say this: I never would have expected you on TV. Yeah. But like, how cool is that? Like, when did you start knowing you wanted to go on TV? Like,
in college, somewhere along the lines, I figured out I want to do marketing.
Right.
It was like the thing. I might have told you that. Yeah.
Yeah, you did comm with Noah.
comm with one of our friends, Noah. I minored in Spanish and I did a TMP thing, which is called Technology Management Program. It's like essentially a business certificate.
Right.
So I was very much in that marketing path.
Kind of entrepreneur business, sort of that.
Yeah, business. I did a marketing internship, summer going to senior year.
Remember that, the social media thing.
Yeah. Shout out Belkin. Great company. Had a great internship there. I speak 2 for sure fluently and then Spanish. So I was like, oh, I can, marketing is like not just like language, but also like the culture. Like I understand, and marketing is very culture based too. Yeah. Like what would a Japanese person like in a product or whatever, right? Had a great time, did social media, product, digital, like got very good scope, got really good networking opportunities. Everyone I worked with was amazing. COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so senior year, literally last couple months, all my people that I had networked with either got laid off or their company stopped hiring. So I feel like I had a couple good options before COVID hit.
Then all of a sudden COVID hit.
Yeah, because I was always thinking a little bit of entertainment. Like I was thinking, Golden Voice. It's a company, it's a label essentially. The biggest thing they're known for is Coachella. They run Coachella, or Coachella presented by Coachella.
Coachella presented by Coachella.
Coachella, let me do that again. Coachella presented by Golden Voice. Okay. We're going to cut that for sure. Yeah, I mean, I could go into way more, but I was networking and there was like an opening and then COVID literally hit like a couple of weeks after. I was doing this thing. So maybe this will be very important to people listening too. Is like, so senior year, I was like, I need to get a job right after graduating. And not you don't have to do that, but I was like, I need it. I want 100%. To. So going off like a really good momentum from my internship, I was hitting people up. So on LinkedIn, you can do this thing. You can filter by, say you wanted to work at Netflix. You go to their page, you go to employers, you can filter it to UCSB alumni. And I started doing that. And then there's like, 8 people or whatever. Sure. And then I found a connection that I was already connected with that person. So like, someone I worked at Belkin with, or I just cold emailed them. There's this plugin called Synovio, and it would generate the email for me. Or you can figure out like last name dot first name at netflix.com. A lot of times it works.
That's funny.
So I would do it from my UCSB email, and I'd say, hey, or dear Mrs. Mr. So-and-so, fellow gaucho here, like, I'm going into, like, I'm about to graduate, blah, blah, blah. I'd like give a little bit. Like, I'm so impressed, like, with your career. I'd really love to just like grab 5 minutes of your time and like do a call or whatever you'd like. A lot of times they'd respond. If it went through, and they'd be like, hey, fellow gaucho, like, go Gauchos. Like, of course, yeah, like, so I did like 30 calls or something throughout senior, just like scheduled them after my classes. Thinking about that now, like, I'd for sure respond to someone who was like living in IB right now, trying to find a job. It's scarier when you're sending, but I feel like when you're receiving, you're like, yeah, like, of course I'll talk to you.
I know, like, someone wants to hear from me. I don't know anything.
yeah.
I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah, exactly. And I was doing that, and I was like, and one of them was a Golden Voice employee. I connected through this person I knew who went to UCSB, and she connected me, shout out Bridget, and then she was like, oh, you should come out to LA. Like, I'm down to meet you in person. So I came down just for that. Met her in Ladera Heights. We talked about marketing, and there was literally a marketing assistant job opening. She told me like a couple weeks later. Yeah. And that was about to be like March 2020. And I saw it on the website in March 2020. And I got my resume ready. I think I submitted the application, and then I was about to text her like, hey, like whatever, like I don't expect anything, but COVID hit. I text her, and this is all happening. And she's like, yeah, we're definitely laying people off or like at least stopping. So I wouldn't, I'd check back like in the summer or something. Turns out the pandemic is like 3 years longer. Long story short, that happened. But doing that internship is ultimately what made me decide not to do it, even though I loved it. I loved it. Like every day was like so exciting. I could see myself doing marketing, but I think just COVID changed everything. Somewhere along the way, I saw like a Belkin social media post or something, and as great as they are, I was just like, it was like a similar post to what I posted with them, and I was like, dang, like a year later, they're still doing similar things. There's no knock on them, like That's a great company and
Good
everything,
people to
but-
work with, and
or any company. I just like didn't see myself doing that for 10 years. Just like marketing a product, a service that I don't care about, or I care about to a certain extent, but not actually passionate about.
yeah,
I think there's something in my mind where I was like, I want to change society in some way. And then that's how, because I was watching a lot of TV and stuff at the time, and I was like, I should just get into that. And then the whole Asian representation came up and creative outlets came up, and I was like, that seems more interesting. And I just kind of like started hitting people up that, you know, from our high school, there's a lot of people in the industry, like a bunch of different people, and somehow I got lucky. And
So how'd you get AGT?
so this is also connections. So how I got my job, I think, so I don't know how much you've known since I graduated, but I graduated, I worked at Zara for like 3 months. I don't know if I mentioned
I don't think I
that
knew
to you.
that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Okay, so I came back here July 4th, like summer, and I was like, fuck, I need to move out. Like, I don't really have a bedroom in my parents' place because they kind of switch it up. Anyway, I was like, I need to leave. It was COVID too, so I couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
And I moved out end of August without a job. And I was like, I need to find a job in the next few months. I got a job at Zara like a week later. I worked there for 3 months. But before I moved out, I was like thinking, oh, I think I want to do entertainment. We'll see. And one of my current boss, his son and his kids went to my high school.
Okay.
So I had kind of known him because my brother knows his son, and like, you know, I just reached out to his wife first. You know, he just offered to like try to find me something like a PA, like just
entry level,
production assistant, lowest of the low.
right?
I don't really care. I was just like, you know, just
In
get
the
me
industry,
in.
yeah.
Months later, nothing. 4 or 5 months, he was trying to find me shit. And then literally my last week at Zara, I mean, didn't know I wasn't going to quit, but he called me up and was like, hey, I need an assistant for 5 weeks. Do you want to do it? And I was like, I mean, should I quit Zara or should I do this? I mean, I did seriously consider it, but I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And that ended up just extending, and I'm still there now.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been great. I'm super lucky to have that opportunity. But the only thing for me that makes me feel better about getting that job is the fact that like he literally was like, it's only 5 weeks. Like I can't do anything more. But I think somewhere along the way, like I was doing a really good job, and he was like, I should keep him on.
Mm-hmm.
So his like old assistant, he like found a new position for her, and like try to make it so that I can also stay too, because I was doing a good job, I guess. So
Wow.
yeah, so that's the only part where I'm like, I'm proud of myself for, you know, at least like proving myself. I didn't just get handed the job, but I mean, I've got really, really lucky though.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like you have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, like I owe so like my whole life to him though. Like he is such a good boss. Like I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I try to be, you know, like obviously I'm proud of myself, but
That is pretty clutch that he helped you out, but
yeah.
I feel like there's so much more that you have to do to get to where you are now. Yeah, I bet he doesn't see it like that. Like I helped this kid out so much, he owes me. He's probably man, I'm so happy I took a risk on this guy. And
That's true. I hope he thinks that. Yeah.
Really impressive.
Thanks. I mean, I wasn't that scared going in. I think I just like knew what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Development is like kind of marketing, not like marketing like a product, but it is a product,
Right.
like a TV show. So that's where I would fit in. And then production is like pretty much just like you have to be competent, and
Yes.
that's it. Like, I mean, that's not just it, but I feel like especially when you're starting out, even if you're a PA or just like a producer's assistant or a showrunner's assistant, I feel like it's really just talking to someone and being like competent, common sense, and like
100%.
figuring out how to like do something even if you don't know it when they ask
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
But I also think after the whole connections and getting a job thing too, I think it's so important, and what I've realized over these 2.5 years is like especially because I spend like 12, 16 hours a day with these people, is like the likability, like how likable you are, and like how sometimes just getting a job is literally like, oh, I want to work with this guy, or like I'd enjoy seeing this guy every day for 12 hours a day. And I don't think a lot of people realize that too.
Yeah.
Like, at least for me, especially on set, like talking to all these different people, like meeting new people every day on set, like it's very much a thing. But in any job, dude, I didn't even tell you, like, I've been, like, I'm surprised I'm even doing this right now, because we've been in production all of October. And
I've known you've been super busy.
dude, last weekend, right? It was Halloween weekend, and everybody's doing Halloween parties, whatever.
Of course.
I've gotten invited to some, and I'm like, cool, maybe I'll make it. So Friday night we had a show, the 28th or whatever. Worked from like 9, and then the show ended like 9 or whatever. And that's like pretty normal. That's like kind of early. But I had to leave a bit early because we had this audience vote. We had them vote like on the acts. That started from like 8. And so I left early. Like the show was still going on when I left. That vote goes till 12:30. Like we're, you know, crazy.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
But that's not even the daunting part. Like that, like whatever, 12:30 is whatever.
That's not even the daunting part.
So we had a 6 a.m. vote. So I had to be up by 5 a.m. for that next one. And then I couldn't even get to sleep until like 1:30. Yeah. Shut off, wake up 4:45, get on the Zoom, do that till like it was.
This was Halloween weekend?
It was Saturday the 29th.
Bro, that's crazy.
Get up, do that, finish the vote. It's like 9-ish. Head straight to the studio where we're shooting the show. And then we did a results show. So it's like announcing what we just got voting wise at the studio till 8 p.m. that day. So I was like up from 4:45 a.m. till 8 p.m. And then I was up till 12:30, and I worked 12 hours the night before.
So you worked like 16 hours, then got 4 hours of sleep, and then worked like another 14 hours.
Yeah, like in total, if you include waking up and going, like.
Okay, can I be the interviewer then for a sec?
For sure. Yeah, I'm down.
It was a great segue that I just talked about how much I love my job. The main part of that being the work-life balance and the flexibility in the hours I work.
Yeah.
You love your job, and you just said an example of how you work. So why
do you
love your
like
job?
it?
Yeah, it has to be for other reasons than what I said. So
yeah, I think why I like it so much is like because I love being busy, right? That's like I'm always doing something. Like even when I'm not working, I'm doing this shit, and like that's one reason. Like I'm always, but I think the big reason why is the environment, and also every day is like not the same. Like for me, like that is a big thing in that every day I'm doing something that actually kind of happens in the world. Like it's what I do for AGT goes out and broadcasts, you know, and it's like there's things that happen with the judges, with this and that, and it's all real, you know. I'm talking to real people. Yeah. And that is always just so interesting, and everybody there is really, really cool. Like even the people that have kids, or my boss who's like my parents' age, who's also just super cool, because like we can talk about everything. Don't really have to be in this like business setting. Right. I mean, I'm sure you're chill with your manager. It seems like you are, but like
totally.
Everyone's really social. Like we did rap parties afterwards, and like I think my job is not just like an office. Even though I'm on my screen so much, it's like I'm not in a cubicle. I'm not in an office. Like I'm able to like, and there are days where I'm remote and like not. So I get a balance. I'm just super lucky, I think, to be in that balance. You know, like.
Right.
And I don't know, I'm just in the grind mode too.
I feel like also, you know, it's like...
I don't know if that was a good answer, to be honest.
everyone always says it, but like if you, what's the saying? Like if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. Obviously that's cap, but like the idea is like you're passionate about what you do, so you're still enjoying days that you're working long hours.
Yeah. And I'm working with people that I like look up to and I want to be one day.
Yeah.
So it's like really easy for me to like learn every day. Like I feel like just even being there with them, I feel like I just learn so much. And I don't know, I think just being in TV too, it just like, it's hard to explain, but it comes down to like pushing the envelope and what I said. Like, I want to feel like I'm doing something that's like not just like, oh, I'm selling something. You know, I mean, there's so many jobs out there that I would do like that, but it's like when I'm young, especially in my early 20s, and I love talking to people and like just people in general. So
I mean, also like, yeah, like you're saying, working in the entertainment industry when you're being able to influence what goes out on screen, like that influences people that watch whatever on TV or watch whatever they see in a movie, that actually like affects people. Whereas I get where you're saying, if you're just marketing something that you have no passion about, there's no impact there.
Yeah, and I'm not like knocking down anyone who does marketing or any type of job like that. Like, I feel like I'd be happy there too, but I think there's a reason why I don't need a work-life balance, because that is like my life. And it's, I mean, yeah, sometimes I wish I had a Halloween weekend, you know, like that this past weekend, I was like, I wish I did shit this Halloween weekend. But like, you know, and I also think what I realize I really like about my job, because I don't just do AGT, you know, I do other stuff, but with AGT specifically, our show is like the first time I really, really worked on it. This is what I realized I loved about it is I thought for a while it was just like a TV show, like any TV show, you know, it's real people, but it's just a show. Like, it doesn't really matter. But what I realized is like doing the auditions and doing that, like all these people on the screen you're seeing and singing and dancing on our show, it's like real for them. Like it's their dream, and our show actually helps them like become famous sometimes, like grow in followers, and like sets them up for careers. So even like these Zoom auditions I'm doing, like people come in from all over the world, and like even getting to the Zoom state, like that stage, means everything to them.
That's an impact, man.
Yeah, and
you're feeling the impact like every day.
Yeah, because even this season, like I've been doing casting for our show. I've been reaching out to people to try to get on our show. And
Yeah,
it's like,
no.
sometimes like even that email fucking like changes their life, and then some of it like I actually was able to get on our show this season.
Yeah,
And it's like already making a difference.
Yeah.
And like once we air their performance or whatever,
It's all meaning, yeah.
Like comedians are a big one for us, and now they can like raise their fee and like go on TV now and other fucking comedy clubs and like, just raise their like, so yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Even one of them is like this like big star in Poland now.
Yeah.
And it's like she's working here in studios now. Her name's Sarah James. So to me, and then being on set and like seeing all these people like crying because they got eliminated or crying because they won, like I didn't realize that it actually mattered to people.
Right.
Like, because to me, I'm just watching it like for my enjoyment, you know?
Right. Yeah. As most people probably do. They probably don't think about that.
That's a big part of it. Like, that's the goal of the show, but it's like, it actually makes, because we have 22 million subscribers on YouTube. So like even getting on just one video.
It helps.
Or the golden buzzer, which is like the thing that every judge gets. It advances you to the live shows essentially. That usually those videos get at least a couple million views. One of them got like 30 million views, and like
that helps.
Those are just views, but those people have gotten contracts, like music contracts, or just even shows all over the world. You know, so. I'm not like trying to plug AGT, but like I might cut some of that. But yeah, it's just like I think that's why. Like it gets me like caring about my job. Like
Nah, dude, this is so legit. Like with the tape on the floor, like you know where to put the cameras again.
That I learned at work. We do that all the time because like have like 10 performances a day. The stage people do it where it's like the ladder for this performance is right here. Like it's crazy actually.